for the market recap.
All right, here we go, ready to rock and roll. What is going to be a big day here? It looks like Google may possibly be out as well. Google with a nice little pop upside right now. I'm hearing also that Microsoft possibly out right now. Microsoft with a nice move up to 330, nice move coming back in right now. We do have the Benzinga Pro platform right here. Once we see something, I will bring it to you guys live on the show. We're ready to rock and roll now, again, with all of these earnings. I'm just getting everything locked and loaded. Thank you for joining. If you're here, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're ready to go right now. Big earnings coming through immediately. So watching out for Microsoft up to 340. Is it out? It is out. Okay, so we are seeing that it's out. I don't have the numbers yet. As soon as we do get them, we will come through with those numbers. Out right now is Microsoft up to 345 and starting to move. We do have the daily up here for Microsoft. Its high that we're looking at is right here, guys. We can come to the screen. I don't know if we're having, there it is. Thank you so much. 366 right there, the high for Microsoft that we got back in July. 362 is 366 top wick. There it goes. Nice move back up to the upside for Softy. We'll get those to you immediately once I see them. Google out apparently now as well. There it is, Microsoft. The only thing I'm seeing right here on Benzinga Pro is Microsoft Q1 EPS of $2.99 is what I'm seeing right now. Nothing on Google here, but hearing again that Google is out. This is my largest, I mean, Google, Microsoft is actually the 1-2 in my account, so I'd like for them to both beat at some point. Here comes Google back down. I also don't mind finding some Google value down a little bit lower than where we are now, but we don't want to go too far. We do have here on the daily chart for Google a nice little movement here back down to the 200. Where is the 200 on Google? All the way down there, we're not even close. 116, the 200, the 50 period, 134. You're seeing that coming into play right now. There it is, downward action here for Google today on big earnings report. Let's see what else is hitting here coming up real soon. I got to get that Benzinga platform going for everybody just to see if we do have anything. Here it is, Google. So it looks actually pretty good. Everything green. Google report Q3 earnings of $155 per share with beating consensus of $145. Increase there. So also company quarterly sales, 76.6 billion, beating the 75 billion. That's also a beat. 11% increase sales over last year. So we're going to find out under the hood what's wrong with Google. Maybe it's the guide. Year over year on Softy as well. Looks to be a good beat. 299 versus 235 from last year. These are just year over year numbers. So we'll have to check out those. That's coming through. So that's Microsoft. That's Google with some numbers coming through here. So we'll pay attention to this as it goes. We also have Snapchat. Did I hear, Brendan, did you say? Oh, the cloud. Bad miss on the cloud revenue right there. This is all the stocks that are pumping out here in the aftermarket. So it's Microsoft with a little bit of a move. Microsoft up to 350. That's a banger of a report there. It's going to look like for Microsoft. Microsoft Cloud probably better with Azure. We'll wait to hear if there's anything there, but look what's going to the downside here. Google missing on the cloud. We actually talked about that a couple days ago. Where would Microsoft and Google be if we were missing something in the cloud space, right? And it looks like it is a downside move. So Microsoft productivity and business revenues, 18.6 billion. That looks like a beat. Here it is right here. So Microsoft Search, 44 billion. Cloud revenue, 67.98. So we're going to find out if those must be misses that we're hearing right now on all of that. So yeah, so far so good in the market. It's kind of be 1-1 here for the earnings today. Google, again, watch out for that bounce. If you're going to look at a daily chart, you are getting a nice little move into the 50 period on the daily. So that was 134. We're now looking at 131. That's where this tick is right here on the daily for Google. Looks like we have some good support down here near 127, 128. Personally, for me, let's figure out where this miss comes from, what the numbers are looking like, but it does look like they miss on that overall number there on the cloud, making Google nice little downside surprise in my opinion anyways. I wasn't necessarily thinking that we had this kind of a miss coming through there for Google down to 130 and looking a little bit lower. Anything else printing here? Texas, oops, that was Texas Instruments. Oh, is TDoc now out? Looks like Teladoc now making a move back down to the downside. So we get a whoosh down there to 1620 on TDoc. So you can see winning the race right now. A-Tech as well coming out. Alpha Tech Holdings with a move to the downside as well into 11 bucks. We'll keep that on the other side. See what's going on the daily. Down into 11 and change for A-Tech, Alpha Tech Holdings with that move back in. I want to look at TDoc on the daily. We also noticed that TDoc has a 15.4% short float. So that is also affecting this stock to the downside. But if you're going to miss on your report, you're going to have to wait till the open market where people are going to have to buying back this name in the open market seems to be what people are going to do tomorrow on TDoc. Again, doesn't seem like this is doing much here for Teladoc, but it is a downside push here. If I have those numbers, I will give them to you. I'm not seeing it here on our board. I know they're out, but I don't have it yet. No, TDoc's not. Oh, TDoc is not out. So Brendan not able. Visa's out. TDoc not being able to find that as well. Visa name not coming on my screener yet, but there it is. It is a nice move up for Visa right now. I have the daily chart over here, so we can always open this up a little bit. We're supposed to be able to double click right there. So if we're going to look at a daily chart here for Visa, trying to take down VWAP again, upside of 240. This is, I only put this over to a daily chart. I don't have the 200 or the 50 on here, but Visa trying to hold out on 229. Little bit of a bottom take there for Visa. Let's pop this bad boy back in there and see what it does off this. TDoc not out yet, but we're going to keep our eye on it as well as Google. So a little bit of information there on Google. I'm not seeing exactly where that miss came from. We did talk about it missing on the side of cloud. So nice little downside push into 127 was the buy zone for me, because 127 is that sort of, again, we're below the 50-period moving average, which is 134, but there's Google right into this protection of 127. That's going to be a spot for me tomorrow. So if we're going to go tomorrow today, and by the way, traders stay late, so I want to thank everybody for joining us. And just because you're here, let's do a quick little roll call if someone's here right now. Let's go into live chat. We are very, very blessed to have everybody with us here today, as we have over 2,000 viewers watching with us right now, kicking it. So thank you so much. 2,000, my bad. 3,300 of you. Thank you so much for joining. Yo, what's up to Juan is here. Hurt Scrambler's here. Let's go Ryan, man. Thanks, Ryan. You had some good Tesla trades with me today. So let's go bang on that one with you, Ryan. Man, did we did real good today trading-wise, man. We were actually 10-1 today. Traded 11 names, many big cap names, as well as GBTC, so on and so forth. So there it is, man. Yeah, hit the light, says Pillsbury. Also hit the like, man. Hit that little streaming button right in front of you. Here it is right here. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the join, hit the subscribe, hit all of that. Join us here as we have fun every single day. We're also getting locked and loaded with the man, the myth, the legend himself. B. Shannon, baby. He's coming through with Alpha Trade, coming through to us. Big time anchored VWAP. It's going to be a big guest. We're very, very proud to have him on every single day coming through. So it's Brian Shannon again coming through 4:15. Get your questions ready for him. And actually, I didn't actually task this. Can we get that from you, Bears vs. Bulls, right now? Please put your questions in. Tag Bears vs. Bulls. Anything you want to ask Brian Shannon, we are going to be going through that with him as soon as he gets on at around 4:15. Of course, Alpha Trends coming through. So thank you so much, Dan McIsaac, as well, for all the love in the chat. But here's Google, man. Nice move to the downside here. As we're not really doing too much sector recap, we will do that in a minute. Let me just go over and have a quick check back on the heat map here for Google. Nice move down 132, making a move in on that one. Just looking out here, Visa, there's the Visa numbers coming through from Benzinga. Looks like an adjusted EPS beat, 233 versus 224 for Visa right there. So we're just gonna slow down a little bit now. We don't need to go too crazy. There's the chart for Visa. Let's take a sip of water, why not? It's Hydration Nation, fail. What happened with that? Hit the Hydration Nation there. Okay, so back over here quickly. Well, China's stimulus coming through today again. So you see FXI making that move up. Let's just quickly go through some of these sector recaps. As we've done earnings, let's just circle back a little bit. So FXI right there, nice move up. We still look at this 25. This 25 level is held all the way back to December. Okay, so no surprise that today we get a little bit of a hold on FXI down there to 25. This is the large cap China ETF. So pay attention to that one for FXI. Nice little move right there as well. Got a note. So Google Cloud revenue from Brendo, 8.41 billion, missing expectations of 8.6. So thanks, Brendo, for that one. Sending Google, as we can look at that one more time, look at the 1 minute chart down here to 131 for Google. Again, that's the miss right there as well. So thanks, Bears versus Bulls. I'm getting those as we speak. So thank you for the questions. All right, we highlighted this a little bit here. Another name that I want to get involved with, the XLU, the utilities. We heard Bill Ackman talk about bond squeeze, possibly over to the short to the downside. Maybe now we get going back up to the upside as we start to see a little bit of these utilities making that bottom down here at 55 bucks. Nice move back in for this name. Let's see if we take out 60 for the XLUs of the utilities, looking a little bit better as rates now coming into question. Looks like November 1st is a no-go as far as rates are concerned as we get it going here. Still watching out for Benzinga, man. Anything comes through. Uh-oh. It's out. It's Snapchat. Uh-oh. Your boy is long Snapchat, as you guys know. This is from last earnings play. So we've been long for a while now, as I know Fabian's all over Snapchat. So is Ramin probably. Nice move back up. You are. You have a Snapchat account.
I got banned, so.
Oh, she got banned. So there you go. So let's wonder why. Nice move up there for Snapchat as it's starting to go back up to the upside. Snapchat's Q3. Let's bring it over to you. Benzinga giving it to us. Snapchat Q3 EPS 2 cents. Up. They making money, baby. There it is. Finally, Snapchat right now, EPS of 2 cents beating negative 4 cents. Nice. Whoever thought that, you guys, I mean, could you imagine this? You actually have sales of 1.2 billion and you barely making money? That's crazy to me, but that's the world. Oh, also, I like this story with Snapchat, and you'll like this as a shareholder. Snapchat spending their own money on your stock, buying 500 million of their own shares back, announcing a 500 million share buyback program right there for Snapchat. There's that T-Doc. T-Doc is in the building right now. We've already talked about them. Look at their Q4 revenue, guiding lower. Lower guide on Q4 revenue. Uh-oh. I think this is bad for T-Doc. Let's call it up here and see exactly what's happening with Teladoc. Yeah, there it is. Back down through 17. Looks like T-Doc right now taking down the 52-week low on this name. Teladoc in a world of hurt as wow, earnings season. Man, if I'm not earning my money today, then I don't know. Maybe I need to ask for a raise or maybe a decrease in pay. Wow. Busy earnings day, man. Microsoft setting the tone, though, with this huge move up to 350. Good move for Softy back to the upside. I see Mr. Shannon getting ready in the wings. Get your questions ready for Alpha Trends. Brian Shannon coming through. His book, it's Anchored VWAP. So if anybody's read the book, you might have some questions about it. You want to know something technically. It's another CMT. That's all we do. Rolling these guys out, man. So we're really happy to have him in just a couple minutes. SMH holding out as well. We've been looking at this 140 level for a while on SMH. We actually had a great trade today. We didn't trade NVIDIA. We actually traded advanced micro devices, and we had this one on the sticky note. You're going to notice these longs. I really like this long. It's going to look crazy here because we have a bunch of, again, once I log out from one platform to the other, sometimes some of these wicks will hit, especially after hours, so apologize that. But these were good longs down here, 99.50. It also came back in the middle of the day. Unfortunately, not here. I'm here in the middle of the day, but sometimes I'm not at my desk. That would have been a good reload, but maybe a little low. It took down the day's low, but look at the end of the day for advanced micro devices. Huge move, really no stopping it, man. AMD wanted all of the smoke. all afternoon. Huge move back up there to the upside. But you know what my trade of the day? We have a couple good trades today. I don't want to talk about it because I do want to get to Brian, but we had a great trade down here. Look at Microsoft on earnings. I guess it's going to make this look irrelevant, but there it is right there. This looks pretty good. Hey, Brian, look, there's VWAP. What's going on? 330 for Softy. Look at these buys in front of VWAP. Get the retracement back, buy it again. Wound up taking at the end of the day $1.50 on Mr. Softy. So there it is right there. Not only that, but we say thank you, Mr. Softy, because you just went all the way up to 350 right there with a nice move upside there for Microsoft, taking out some levels and now pulling back in Microsoft with a great report coming in. So that's great. Double check on Google. I don't think I traded Google today. Ugh. Yuck, man. I was hoping that I'd be checking back in on this thing and we'd be holding. Again, this is my, I don't know about it after today, but one of my largest holdings, well, it is going to be one of them in the long-term account. We'll look to buy some more on Google. Nice upside move. Not respected, man. We got up to 140 and now Google falling back in. Quick check on TDOC. Let's just do a little quick. Is Brian ready, by the way, guys? No, not yet. Okay, so we'll wait on Brian. 17, TDOC taking down the 52-week low of 18 bucks. That's coming in as well. Thank you so much, Dan McIsaac, for your nice talk right there. This after show is so legit. More energy than the opening bell. Well, when it's just me here, I don't have to worry about energy because we're bringing it every single day and sometimes maybe too much for all of you as well. But I want to thank as well. Get your questions in to the chat for Brian and myself. More for Brian. I'll ask them. But let's see what else is moving here. All right, so Snapchat, there it goes, man. Snapchat with a nice move back up to the upside here. We can check out what Benzinga is saying about Snapchat. All right, what are they saying here? Snap says, due to an unpredictable nature of war in the Middle East, believe it would be imprudent to provide formal guidance finally. As if they're using the Middle East and blaming that to not provide guidance? Okay, I don't know. Snapchat had a lot of accounts out there, but apparently that's enough. I don't believe any of these guys, these companies should be providing guidance anyways, unless they really have something substantial to say. I mean, I think that that's something important. I'm not sure guidance should be something that happens every single quarter for every single stock, but I do understand the importance of it. Lift the veil, right? Here's Texas Instruments is now out. So let's have a quick look at these guys. Q3 revenue looks to be very, very light. Very light on Texas Instruments. 393 right here. Verse 449. Uh-oh. Are we falling out of bed with TXN right now? Remember I said, oh, Nelly. Nice little move to the downside here. 146 coming in on TXN now. Nice move back in. There's the earnings report. October 24th, post-market. Not much of a short float at all right now on on Texas Instruments. Let's go over to the bigger section here and find out. Yeah, look, they've been hurting for a minute, man. Teladoc, Texas Instruments, still a nice downside move. Well, what was red today? All right, USO. Now, we talked about getting out of XLE, and we did do some of that up here. XLE is retracing all the way back in. We got out of, first of all, we got out of 15%. We were upset. Then we got out of another 25 when it came back up here. I believe we got 90s, like 90, 50, something like that in that day. So it's a nice move up there for XLE. We did cover some, but not all. Still holding long energy, waiting to see what we do at the 200 again down there for XLE. And as you can see, only 5 names red today. Silver, downside. The housing, could you turn this over, make sure if you get a second there. XHB as well, the home. We talked about that silver, XHB, the housing, ETF to the downside. Financials getting hit. The financial, not financials, sorry. The regionals getting hit on the downside right now as we're just getting everything set up. Got to move the book, you know. The book. Brian, come on, man. You got to send me a signed copy. Maybe next time he is in Toronto, we will get that. Okay, we've got a couple questions all locked and loaded, but it's about time for my favorite segment and one of the best. It's Brian Shannon. Let's go over to Trader Talk. Hello, Brian. How are you on what's been? I don't know if you've been able to catch some of this. I'm going to have to catch my breath. It's been a very, very busy earnings post-market. Have you been checking any of these out?
I'm getting my news from you, Sean. You're doing a great job wrapping it up. I've got Microsoft on the screen. Looks like that's really doing well here.
Yeah, Microsoft's been a really good one. And I'm sure that you manage, and yeah, look at that, nice upside move on Microsoft, up to 344 and changes. We're showing it there on your screen. I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, Brian, but I have a couple so I have a trading account, and then which for swing trades, trying to make, again, we day trade all day, but then I also have a longer term account that I try to review maybe monthly, something like that, and I try not to get too carried away. It's a permanent long account where I'm just trying to buy better quality names on dip so I can leave some money away for the family. And one day, I don't know if guys like you and I are ever going to retire, Brian. I don't know if I can ever step away from the screens. Our wives may want that differently, but do you have multiple different accounts where you'll trade different styles?
I have like a separate options account, and I also do one account that I try to do my day trades in, and then primarily my swing trade account. But the swing trade and day trade kind of blend together too much, realistically. That just based on the function of the market. But as far as longer term stuff, I really don't have that buy the dip. And I just can't do it. I can't put them away like that.
You know what? It is tough to do that all the time. Like I was debating buying this Tesla dip, and then one day it's up $10, next day it's down $10, and it's like, definitely very frustrating. But that's why I try to just stay, buy the best companies, and that's why I was looking at indexes. Is that something? Do you often trade indexes on swing plays or anything like that? Because I'm really liking these ETFs these days.
Yeah, I trade them pretty aggressively, actually, the ETFs in general. In particular, during this time right here, the last couple of days, as this market's kind of settling down here with this 200-day moving average and year-to-date anchored VWAP, that this has become a place. But I have Tesla pulled up, Sean, because we talked about this, I think, recently, and it's right now down to kind of where it was supposed to drop to after those earnings. That is the anchored volume weighted average price from the beginning of the year down here, that blue line, and from the 2022 high in this area from, I guess that was September of last year. So that and the 200-day moving average, it kind of came in right to where it's supposed to. And the SPY is doing the same thing, right on that year-to-date anchored VWAP, that blue line right there. So this is the place where it's supposed to bounce.
Yeah, I'm looking at those as well. I was actually starting to put some money to work at some of these levels as we discussed earlier. So again, a mind like yours, you and I have gone back and forth a little bit there on X. And by the way, everybody can go ahead and follow at Alpha Trends over there on formerly Twitter. Oh, guys, we still have the little blue tweet there at the bottom. We got to change it over to an X. Go follow Brian. But Brian, you and I have discussed a possible Q&A. So we've lined up a couple questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
I have to warn you, we have the best, most educated viewers in the financial space, period. So get ready for some great questions. And one comes from one of my favorite guests. I'm going to put it, or one of my favorite viewers, I'm going to put it in our chat right now. It is from Super SPAC Man. He said, what are the scenarios where you found, Brian, anchored VWAP does not work? Is there an example where you maybe don't use anchor VWAP to position yourself into some trades?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's no indicator that's going to work all the time. And it's similar to me to a moving average. Let's say a 50-day moving average.
Okay.
If you see the stock bouncing back and forth above and below that 50-day moving average, it's going to basically tell you there's no point being involved here. It's choppy on this time frame. Right. So go down to a shorter term time frame. Very similar in the anchored volume weighted average price, that there's going to be times where it just cuts right through it and maybe oscillates around it. That'll just tell me to stay away from it. So, or go to a different time frame. It's kind of the same as any indicator, really.
Right. And I feel like that's part of it, right? Is you don't want to pigeonhole yourself just looking at one thing. You got to put a bunch of different indicators together. I really learned a lot from, and again, just because you're here right now, anchored VWAP, guys, everybody picked this up. What I learned from you was not necessarily catching that falling knife. Watch the action around these indicators, and then you make your decision from there. And I know from experience here live on the show, and everybody sees me trade every single, I had over 300 fills today, so everybody's seeing me every single day trading, and that's something that I've learned. So let's go back to the screen. That's question number one. Question number two is from a name called User. So there it is, User for Brian. Are Fibonacci retracement levels something that you use as well? Or are you more just, like you just mentioned, there's some stochastics, things like that with moving averages and whatnot. Fibonacci, what say you on Fibonacci levels?
I do. I like to look at the retracements. And in fact, that's part of the reason that this level right here is of interest in the SPY.
Okay.
If you see what I did, I just took the 2022 low down here and the 2023 high. And what we've got right here is this is the 38.2% retracement of that. So here's the 38.2, the 50%, and the 61.8. So this kind of gives me a more confidence that this area is likely to hold, because we have that 200-day moving average, we have that anchored VWAP from the beginning of the year, that thick blue line, and the Fibonacci level. So I look at it as just another piece of information, not as important to me as the anchored VWAP, for instance, but it's definitely something that gets a little bit of weight.
All right, here we go. Okay, great question, great examples as well. Wow, we're also getting live examples here. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Brian, for that. Everyone's saying great job, so thank you so much for everything right here. All right, next question here. All right, this is a pretty good one, and this is from one of my favorite viewers. He sent us an 8-ball. He made us a custom 8-ball. It's Mr. Westermeyer, D. Westermeyer here. For M. Shannon, here's a question. It's B. Shannon. Oh, D. Westermeyer, M. Okay. Mr. Shannon, does anchored VWAP work with Forex futures? I mean, I think this is a good question. I think your answer is just going to be yes, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. Is it not just an aspect of price versus time? So what say you about anchored VWAP with Forex?
Yeah, I don't trade Forex personally,
okay.
So I don't have that personal experience. People have told me it does.
Okay.
I would say the concern would be similar to the anchored VWAP with Bitcoin or any of the other cryptos, in that there's not a centralized exchange. So you don't have all of the volume together. It's fragmented liquidity. The way I would say to get around that is, so for instance, with Bitcoin, I trade on Gemini. So I'm interested in the VWAP of the customers at Gemini, because that's my pool of liquidity. But overall, I think it can still give you great guidance for key levels.
Yep, I would agree with that. I've been using it, and just for everybody as well, depends on either slow stock, faster moving stock. And that's maybe a question for me to you. Do you ever look at sort of the velocity of how these stocks are moving and how fast maybe they drop into a VWAP or into one of those retracement levels? For me, that's very, very important, because that means you might have news related to it, and I tend to prefer things that like to settle down a little bit.
I think that, Sean, let's say we've got a strong trend during the day,
right?
And the market, and we're, I don't know, let's just say 2 standard deviations above the VWAP, and then it comes in hard to it. I find that those are more likely to bounce quickly in that area. So I definitely want to keep a closer eye on it and be ready quickly rather than wait for it to find that level. But it's really generally the first bounce only. If you get that quick sell-off, it comes down to it, gets a bounce, then it comes back down to it. Then the market is kind of going to make up its mind whether to hold that area or if it's going to continue back to the downside.
Perfect, because we've had a couple of examples. If you come over to my screen here, this is just a 200 period on a 15 moving average, unfortunately. I mean, I have anchored VWAP right here. I'll just put it on right now. And if you guys are part of Trade Ideas, make sure that you grab this entitlement as well. You can see right here, Alpha Trend's own anchored VWAP right here on the upside for Trade Ideas. But we had a move like that in Intel yesterday, where all of a sudden NVIDIA came through and talked about a new PC chip with ARM, and that was just bang to the downside. We were actually lucky enough to already be short ahead of that.
Nice.
Yeah, so we kind of got lucky on that one, but that was a nice move. Sometimes you get lucky there for sure. All right, we're getting close on time here, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up very soon, but a couple of questions more. Are you good for a couple more?
You bet.
All right, from John Spruill, this is a real easy one for you, okay? I'm gonna put it here in the chat, and it is Brian working on a new book?
No.
What? Oh, no, come on. I'm going to slap a fail on that one, because I want a new book. We all want a new book, Brian. Come on. Let's get going on that one, but no. Here's maybe a more personal question as well. How long? Like, how long was this book sort of in the works for you? And again, this is Maximum Trading Gains with Anchored VWAP. And then maybe we can plug it a little bit, found on Amazon as well.
Yep. From the time I first thought of doing it and began an outline,
Sure.
it was close to 5 years, Sean.
Wow.
And that's why I'm not working on another one, because I wanted to make it good, and I would keep adding to it and using the tool. Finding new ways of using it. That it's a lot of work to write it. I'm not a natural writer, I don't think. So just getting the words out onto paper is difficult.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. Didn't you say that your wife was helping you ghostwrite a little bit in the book? Did I read that, or was that?
Oh, she did an amazing job. Yeah, with the editing. I mean, it's
editing, yeah.
very readable because of her. Yeah, great pickup on that, Sean.
Great.
He's gonna like hearing that. Yeah.
Good. No, it's fantastic. And look, we scratch each other's backs. Like, I don't know what I'm going to be getting out of this other than a great program. And thank you to all the viewers today. Make sure you check out Brian Shannon. But here's another question from Mark Rose. And this is what our viewers are all about, Brian. So here we go. Where does Brian prefer that we purchase his book? I want to make sure that he gets the best cut. So that's it right there on chat. We'll put that in. I just plugged Amazon. Maybe your website might be just as good. And not only there, they can check you out to what other offerings you have.
Yeah, Amazon, and I appreciate that. That's a good question, and I appreciate the person who asked that.
All right, absolutely perfect. And they can go and find you, and they can ask you questions. Hit up Brian there on Twitter, on X, at Alpha Trends. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us. I know our viewers really, really appreciated that, as did I. Thank you so much, Brian.
Always a pleasure, Sean. Thanks.
Ciao, that's Trader Talk. What an amazing individual that gentleman is. That is Brian Shannon, again, of Anchored VWAP fame. I can say that, right? I mean, the guy's all over that. That's amazing. So, all right, look, thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going out tonight, man. Ice Exchange taking us out here tonight. It's going to be a good one. They're not too late. We got some big trades to make tomorrow morning. So we'll be out there, out and about. Look out for a picture. Me, Brenda, will be there, putting some back a little bit there. But okay, let's just quickly go. Before we go, I'm going to do a roll call. So get ready. I just want to look at some key earnings. What is Softy doing? 343 right now. Nice move up for Softy. Good bounce off 350 for me. 350 seems a little rich right there, but we will analyze. We'll go over the numbers there. Maybe not tonight, but maybe hopefully tomorrow morning. And we'll look to see what levels we like on Microsoft. That's going to come into play. Yeah, come over. Just spend time on the screen right now. TDOC right here. Let's see what's happening for TDOC. So a pullback into 17. Man, that looks good. I'm hoping this level holds tomorrow morning, TDOC. I'm thinking about a long because of this 15.4% short float. That is Teladoc. And I'm scared to do this one. No, Google, please. What are you at right now? I like that. Ooh. It is a fail, there's no doubt about that. But down 3% again. We had the expected options move of both Google and Microsoft, both being about 3 or 4%. Looks like one goes one way, one goes the other. So it is pretty much exactly right there on the calculated move of both Google and Microsoft, both moving around 3%, one way, one the other. So there it is. I'm hoping this is here tomorrow, man. Honestly, these wicks below 130, this is going to be a buy for me down here at 130 tomorrow. So get ready. Let's get that buying power ready to go tomorrow. The way that we're trading, we're pushing all in, man. We got those pocket rockets up here lately. That's Visa. What else do we got right now on Visa? Nice move there as well. And then we did have a big move in Bitcoin today, up around 34,000. We didn't even get to talk about that. I did have some Bitcoin graphics all locked and loaded, but we'll do that tomorrow. All right, thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to, once again, Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends. Great trader, great book. Definitely make sure you pick that up. Thank you to everybody for watching, because it really does mean a lot to me. And on that note, let's go over to roll call ASAP and see what's going on. So big shout out to Greg Moore. You are right about this. Google did run up into the report, so no harm, no foul. You're right. Google's had a great, if we're just going to come here and I'm going to do, oh, man, this is why, honestly, they had to put that siren, because like now I'm just going to talk about this. But there it is right now. That's Visa. Let's just call up Google quickly. Google did have a beautiful report, run up into the report, right? We had faded out, but look at that. We already hit 134, back up in there to 138. So move back to 132 is really just giving us back 2 weeks. I think we can get going off this. Heading into earnings, you never know what to expect. Again, it looked like an 8.4 billion in cloud versus 8.6. That's bad. But can you imagine that we're actually talking about this? 8.4 billion with a B? Unbelievable. So thank you so much for Google giving us that number. I think it's going to be a buy spot there on the downside. All right, where did my chat go? All right, who else is here? Dan McIsaac, thank you. Oh, yeah. See? Dan mentioned Snapchat, and I'm instantly forgetting about what we talked about on Snapchat. Where is Snapchat right now? Nice short up there at 12 bucks. Yes. Wow. Nice move back down. We talked about, what was it, a miss on the revenue number and no guide. So that's kind of crazy for those guys. Let's just see what else is going on here. Big roll call for everybody. Emma's here. Who else is here? We got live chat. Let's do it right now. Bebek, he learned a lot. You're welcome. Thank you so much for everything right here. Chris, have a good evening to you as well. Lydia, thank you for coming through. Vin, I saw you in the chat. Thank you so much. Rich Naples is always here. Chris is here. Juan Padilla, thank you so much for your support. Howell Capital Trading, prayers, thank you. Waving, thank you so much for that as well. Pretty Brown Eyes, yo, what's up? Vince Jane, what's up? Super SPAC Man, good job today. Hopefully every day we can continue with the biggest and the best after show you're ever going to see. Peter is here as well. VT Saul, Daryl Flinch, let's go. B. Davis is here. Thank you so much for all the kind words. Wow, we're exhausted. It's been a great day. I'm Sean Katina. Thank you for supporting Trader TV Live. Look, we're back tomorrow at 8:30. It's not going to stop, man. We got the big guy, Brendo. We got me, Neil. We've got Sharif. We've got Adara. We've got Fabian. We've got Ramin. We've got Kat. We've got Randy around as well. It's going to be a big one. Let's go. Those bangs are being dropped, but I got to drop out of here. It's 4:36. Thank you so much. Guess what? More earnings all week and next week, and I'm here every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm Sean Catino. Follow me on Instagram at X as well, at Trader TV Sean. Watch out for the fakes. Cha-cha-cha-cha.